Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Space 2. I do not hugely remember what we were doing. I know I was thinking about going to war with Horatio because his stuff is valuable and I want it to be my stuff. We also have to figure out some things, like first of all, our population strategy. We're not really getting a lot of Epistis growth because we don't really have a lot of food right now. And like I expressed, I do want to get to 20 population points, because this is awesome. The Riftborn 20-point bonus is also really good. Ideally, we want to get these both to 20, at least, and then make sure that each system has at least one unit of each population type. That's going to make it much, much, much easier for us to build stuff. And it'll make it easier for us to maintain our industrialist ecologist government, which I think is good for us. I think if we're really pushing for a supremacy victory, our population needs to grow quickly, our new systems need to be able to build stuff quickly. Unfortunately, pushing for a supremacy victory means military conflict. Your neighbors are not going to leave you enough land in order to get the systems you need. So I was kind of thinking maybe we want to switch our party representation, or our government, to something that lets 3 parties be represented, because we may not be able to keep the militarists out of the government. But if we could be militarist, industrialist, ecologist, we could keep all of our growth and building stuff going. So there you go. Hey, look at that. I figured out a reason to have a government change. So we're growing quickly. We need ships. We're working on a tech that's in that quadrant, working our way up toward being able to get real ships. But it's tough, man. It's tough to take systems with smalls. I guess we have a fair amount of titanium income, or at least we will once we acquire this. And once we have all that titanium, we can maybe just go for the A2S modules really early. Just bombard the hell out of their planets instead of bringing enough troops to fight them. So I'm going to push really hard on the capital. The capital is the place with all the yields. No big surprise to anybody, right? That's the way it always goes. So let's just go ahead and use our 25% extra resource thing right here. On the whole, I'm pretty happy with how things are going. We're kicking off a little slower than I would like. Oh hey, we did do this though. Feelings of strength sweep through my forces on Vanguard, making them even more determined in their mission. In their fields, their words, their very bearing, I see that they are fearless, that they will defend Kuros, both the old and new, to the death. We have our fortress. I wonder, though, are we misplaced in our confidence? Did we build a stronghold from which to conquer the galaxy, or a prison to entrap ourselves for eternity? Did the Communion make a grave mistake? By the way, in their fields, the first thing I thought was, wait a second, we're not really farmers, but these are like JavaScript fields. So hey, a couple of people pointed out to me in the comments of the last episode that there's this button here that shows you in detail how your various events are creating support amongst your population. So we just completed an industrialist quest, right? And it looks like it's not on here. Yeah, that was an industrialist. Yeah. So maybe it is not the case that that those quests yield any political pressure. Although it's also possible that this doesn't refresh until the start of a new turn, so I guess we should check that again next turn. Anyway, new quest. Today, one of my patrols made a startling discovery. A curious, pitiful creature was found living in a windswept hovel on the edge of a great frozen lake far to the north. This universe, with its ugly forms, its soul-shuddering sounds, its perpetual downwards grasping, is difficult enough to understand at the best of times. But this creature was another level of enigma. With rags for garments, garbled speech, and erratic movements of its slender, serrated limbs, I wondered what possible worth this thing could possess. Over long, painful days, though, I came to appreciate that this creature, Annex Jink, could be very valuable to us. Although NX Jink is a damaged soul, half mad, half delusional, its mind driven down dark, rarely traveled paths in its prolonged isolation, I found islands of clarity, even brilliance. Slowly, I learned its story. It is a member of a race called the Virus. Well, maybe race is too generous a word for the smattering of creatures scattered across the galaxy who loosely share NX Jink's biology. The Virus, you see, are escaped viral lab experiments, hyper-evolved by a mysterious substance called dust. NX Jink once lived with others, a commune of Eider on an abandoned moon, but after it stole a great haul of dust for research, they fell out and NX Jink was banished. By the way, again, I really love pretty much everything about the Riftborn, but it bothers me how the really cool things that are going on sort of in the plot of the Riftborn kind of kludge against the actual mechanics of the game. Because it's like, we're talking about, this mysterious substance called dust, but I've been using dust for all kinds of stuff for, 40 turns now? 30 turns now? In order to really do the thing that I would like them to do with this storyline, there would basically have to be another game, a different video game that you play when you're Riftborn that leads into a game of Endless Space. So I understand, my concerns are unreasonable, but even still. Anyway, the Virus tells me the end times are coming. I struggle to fathom whether its reasoning is genius or deranged, but knowing what I know of the blight-destroying Koraz, I cannot help but think its words are prophetic. It has the capacity for greatness, I believe. I have forbidden anybody mention NX Jink's existence to the Communion back on Koraz. To begin with, that was because I needed to know more before I reported back, but too much time has passed for that to be true any longer, and now I must confront the truth. The truth is that the Communion are ill-equipped to lead in this universe. They are remote and out of touch, insulated from the seeping horror of this place. How can they make the right choices when they have no experience of here? They can't. So I, the Grand Viceroy of New Koraz, will decide the fate of NX Jink. One day, the Communion will thank me for it. So we can just kill him? The Virus will teach us nothing more, at least not while living. That seems cruel. Also, not that hard to do. There's something to be said for that. So, +5 approval with major population. I'm assuming this means +5 approval on the system as long as there is at least one unit of major population in the system, and not +5 approval from each major population point. We could recruit him, colonize a new system, raise its science to 60. That'll be something that'll take a little while, because we're going to have to steal a system in order to do this. And then we get a hero. Honestly, NX Jink is kind of a weird hero for the thing we're doing. I'm not super hype about this. Or, we just bring him back to the Eider. Raise 750 dust, then explore a curiosity somewhere to get 5 approval with non-major population. Well, Zosmanos 2, huh? It's possible that the Zosmanos system is a system that only exists if you do this quest. Like, if you take this part of the quest. I certainly don't see it, right? Raising 750 dust is completely trivial for us. This reward is definitely less good than this one, but it is going to show me where a system is. Yeah, let's go for this. I'm curious. Now, this is not a political party that is one of the ones that I care about, but we'll be fine. Whoa! Okay, that's a distance from here. Let's head back in that direction. We might be able to make something happen here. Oh, hold on now. I didn't even realize that there was a path coming out of Kuma here, because it was behind the pirate symbol. I guess, yeah, you know what, stop here, we'll fire off some probes, and then we'll try to see what's this way. It turns out I don't have free movement yet. Is that right? Yep, it sure is. I was trying to get him to travel over the space here, and he wouldn't. Okay, so compression singularity coming next turn. We'll do another one. Alright, where are we at here? Probably want to move you back over to here. Oh, you know what else? I totally forgot. We just finished... yeah, we just finished this, so we can spaceport people around once we actually install a system level upgrade, which means we have to build our system level upgrades. So, currently we are only gathering Eden incense, and we're not gathering it very quickly. We do also have access to Transvine, although not very much. We don't have a ton of Eden incense income anywhere either. But we can get a little bit from a bunch of different sources. So if we were to do this, it would cost us 30, right? 25? And you know, all that extra influence, actually, especially if we're going to switch to a government that has more parties, we'll have a larger assortment of laws, and we may want to be running more laws in total. So actually, extra influence income is probably a good idea. This is probably something that's worth getting. So let's get level 2 modernization, and then once we have a spaceport here, we can send some Epistis. We can sort of fan out our Epistis over the our couple of systems here. I'd like to have one on each system so that food is not going to waste anywhere. Okay, and so we gotta make some decisions about population. Hold on. Alright, so we got that coming. What's this? I found some NP artifacts. Oh, that's right, they were the reward for the quest. Yep, we gained a point of Epistis population. Alright, so the only thing we have left to do is to make some decisions here. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm building population when it makes the most sense to do so. Obviously, it's really easy to go, well, obviously we should be getting dust and science and industry, right? It's a no-brainer. But I want to make sure that we're getting the most bang for our buck, so to speak here. So a point of our population here would be 13 industry, 11 dust, and 5 science. Because remember, it's the output of the population unit plus that base output per population point. So that's pretty good. It's not as much industry as we get from Xeno-Industrial Infrastructure now, though, which is worth 20, so we probably ought to finish that. And this is quite a small... Oh, geez, I haven't done this yet either. Yeah, these are quite a small cost for their output. Yeah, okay. I think it's fine to do that before putting in more population. It is worth remembering, though, the 20-point population bonus for Riftborn is very significant, so we do want to make sure that we are pursuing that still. And this system in particular desperately needs industry. Yeah, as much as I like the low cost of Cerebral Reality and the other one, you know, the two basic buildings, relative to their output, we desperately need industry over here. I'd like some Civ 6 style trade routes to just create industry out of thin air between my systems. Okay, so, like I said, let's shift some population around. Where do we have the most food? Here we just have 10. Okay, here we have a little tiny bit more. We did just finish food tech, so we can get some work done on this. But I think I'm going to send a unit of population to Lasath. Let's mail some Epistis to Lasath. And then next turn we'll send one more point of population to one of these systems. I just want to get Epistis spread out as much as we can. Okay, so we got our food tech. I think it's time to pick up ships. I think we have to menace Horatio a little bit before he gets too much stronger. Hopefully Blue will hopefully Blue will not have strong feelings about that. Alright, they're not particularly friendly with Horatio. And honestly, for a supremacy victory, it might be a good idea to have an alliance with another. If we meet another player who's got a lot of territory, we can probably do a combined supremacy victory. Okay, so we need to do this. We need to get our ships. Well, you know what? I think we're good. Oh, that's right. The other thing, the important thing that I was thinking was we gotta make a compression singularity. And we'll just use that on Brassia to help get it built up a little faster. We have been given a quest. Oh hey, the Galactic Census is coming up. Well, I'm certainly not opposed to 30 titanium. 101 offensive strength will be very, very easy to get. Yeah, we can do this. Oh, I forgot to check the last turn. Forgot to check to see if that quest actually did kick in. It looks like the quest is not producing industrialist political impact. Yeah, okay. Good to know, not the sort of thing that's actually going to change anything about the way we're running stuff, but good to know. Okay, so let's bounce. Let's see, you are on how much food? 18. So Oshi. Oshi is getting the other Epistis population that we're kicking out here. And then in 5 turns, when we get another one, we can have that one sent to Brassia. What else do we need to do here? Probably we should build some food output. +5 per cold and hot, that's actually very good here. We need to pick up both of these planets, this one especially, for the resource output. I'm trying to figure out where we want to build the intensive cultivation. It might just be the capital, and then we can funnel population out to everywhere else. Let's see, we are... Okay, we're a fair number of turns away from being able to build another system improvement, or another development. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I suppose I should have things building in all the places. Why not? So, at this point, Xeno-industrial infrastructure would not be very good. However, once we pick up this planet, it will be, like, really solid. Really like to get that done. We also need, let's see. Point of population is 6 food, 9 industry, 8 dust, 13 science. It's powerful. We really just, we need to get a hold of this, especially... this will be great for feeding our Epistis, because there's quite a bit of natural food output here. Although, the Epistis will also produce a lot of food if we take over this planet. I guess the one unit of Epistis population will produce a bunch of food here on this planet. And remember, our people are not super happy on fertile worlds and are very, very happy on sterile. Yeah, I think we need to take this over. We need the resource mining, we need... Yeah, it's like a really high priority. Okay. And like I said, we'll use this here. Just accelerate the rate of artificial growth there. And got some really nice systems out here. We need these. And now we have the ability to make warships. Okay, that's cool. That pushed us up to just the tiniest bit below devoted. Alright, we can probably figure this out. In fact, it'd be very easy for us to take this. What is Akamar's current approval level? No, okay, so extra approval on Akamar doesn't actually do anything. And we don't have a lot of planets inhabited anywhere, so we can't change things up too much. Well, you know what? When this finishes, it'll provide a bunch of extra approval for being on a sterile world, so that'll push us to devoted. Okay, so you don't need that. You can go ahead and focus on important things, like all of the industry. Boy, we're getting there. You know what I might want to do is go off and grab baryonic shielding real quick here, because we really do need warp drives. I know that that's not advancing us toward a new tier of tech or anything, but warp drives are really important. Oh, one of our singularities ran out. Okay, happy to see that come to an end. That also will put us over devoted. Okay, we get a new industrialist leader. Well, this guy here is a scavenger. So science and influence, eventually food. Although he's really much more of a fleet commander. This is pretty good, though. I'm assuming foreign population means minor, you know, not our home Riftborn population type. So this could be really popular. Or really powerful. I'm actually not sure. I'm not sure if this refers to population units or population types. Like, if I have 2 Epistis in a system, is that 1 instance of this or 2? But anyway, that's an interesting case to be made for Scavenger. I will say, though, that he does not have a huge number of relevant system governing skills. He's a Scavenger Seeker. This guy's a Craver Overseer. I'm not super crazy about a Craver. But him being an Overseer is nice. We have our current hero, our current governor is an Overseer. It's a pretty good tree. Yeah, I don't love that. What about you? You're a Eusocial Seeker. So Seeker's not great. Eusocial is okay. There's approval to be had. Even more approval. Plus 20 food per planet is a lot of food. We might take this one. Even though it's not like a super great long-term governor, this is a lot of food available relatively early. And actually, this starting bonus is quite good too. Yeah, okay. Colin Fet Iska. Welcome aboard. So, I think we probably want to start with just the plus science. I think we're cool on approval right now. Let me make sure that's true before I go saying stuff like that. Yeah, okay, we're devoted. The only place we could put you that you would be able to raise approval currently is Oshi, but I think what I actually want to do is put this person on Lasath, because I think I just want to build Lasath into a powerhouse, rather than try to accelerate one of my slower systems. So yeah, we don't need approval, we need science. This is also good. Yeah, we'll get optimal operations expert after we finish with the science. Okay. The Epistis are on their way. 2 turns until the next one grows here on Akamar. You know, they're biological. They grow. That's what they do. That's their whole thing. Don't ask me. I think it's disgusting. So we probably want to grab another sterile world before building another population unit. We don't get any benefit out of the interplanetary transport network. Gosh, we just need, like, industry very badly. Oof, acid rain. Yeah, alright, let's do this. We do still need to also build our exoscience stations. I don't want to spend 3 turns making a little bit of extra science here, though. We need to keep building things that give industry, which means, ideally, that we need population units, or we need population slots for the population units we need to build. Alright, let's talk about phantoms and ciphers. These all just weapon slots? Okay. So our attack ship has 4 weapon slots, 1 defense, 1 support. I think I'm fine spending a little bit of Hyperium. We're not really using our Hyperium for very much. We're not bringing it in at an incredible rate, but we're also not really using it. Do we see any Horatio vessels right now? Like, this is just a scout ship, right? Yeah, it doesn't give me very much information. And I don't see any military vessels. Trying to think ahead a little bit. Well, let's just mount up the good weapons. What do we have as far as good weapons? In general, your projectile weapon types are more powerful than the beams, but, you know, also a little more awkward to use. There's a lot to be said for just 100% effectiveness at all ranges, I think. Yeah, why don't we do this? So, a pair of lasers, a pair of beams. This gives us some reasonable shooting power at medium and the ability to not be completely worthless if we get forced out of our comfort zone by a bad matchup. And that Horatio ship we can see has energy weapons, so let's try this. Alright, how many turns are we looking at to build one of those? Less than 1 turn. It's like 70% of a turn of output here, so we can have a functional fleet of those pretty quickly. Which I would like very much to have. Alright, next turn we'll hit here and we'll be able to send out some probes and hopefully free move somewhere interesting. I mean, we can see there's a star lane over here. It's gotta go somewhere. Okay, our quest world is extremely far away. Oh, hey. A player we haven't met yet. Alright, we don't really want to use Lesath's building time to make a compression singularity. Ideally, we want to use Oshi, I guess. We want to spend the smallest amount of industry possible on these. So whatever system has the least industry output. You need to make, like, food available. There's some Epistis arriving pretty soon, and they will probably want to be able to eat when they get here, because biologicals are like that. I know, I think it's disgusting. Alright, let's, what are we doing next? If we want to have a really good chance of taking out Horatio, we gotta move. I wouldn't mind an extra law slot, either. Yeah, alright, let's do this. Let's go. So we could pick up Xenology, we could go to Adaptive Bureaucracies, which allows us to colonize atolls. What are our uncolonizable planet types? Here we just have this steppe world. And over here, excuse me, over here a gas world. So not super relevant, this. We could go for even more food. The thing is, I don't think the spin project actually is going to be very good for us. We will eventually want hyper packs, but I really don't think adaptive bureaucracies is terribly valuable. Yeah, alright, more food. More food stuff. Not usually the way Riftborn is played. Riftborn are played? You know what I mean. Not the normal thing. Oh hey, would you look at that? Easy enough. Keep accelerating this. We had another Epistis birth, so... I sent that other one here, right? Yeah, okay, so let's... drop you off on Bracia. Okay. I probably want as many people working here as possible, as long as it doesn't... Yeah, as long as it doesn't tank out our approval. Oh, I guess it wouldn't. This world's sterile. Even though we're filling the overpopulation slots, the world being sterile is worth a lot. Alright, so you finished building ships. I'm not sure that we're going to go to war with Horatio, but, you know, or soon, but, you know, you gotta be ready for it. Unfortunately, we can't issue a movement order to the star lane. I have to actually go to a node. What would it take to move to here? 3 turns? I think I'm going to stay put where I am, fire another probe off in this direction, and then we'll just free move over to there. It'll probably be safer than going to Pirate World. So we've got another law slot. We actually do have some anomalies now. Let's get a quick view of how many colonized anomaly planets we have. So we have seismic activity here. We could colonize this world pretty quickly. Okay, this world's got an anomaly. We really don't have very many, considering the size of our empire. It's kind of a low anomaly space. So yeah, food and, like, plus 10% all resources per anomaly. Pretty good. And for the moment, we have the influence income to deal with that. So we have 10 titanium income and 4 Hyperium income. You gotta check that when you're up at this level, because the medium-sized ships, the hulls are made out of the strategic resources. So I think we probably want to go for the titanium ship, even though some amount of our titanium is spoken for. We're just producing a lot more of it. Plus, I do like the titanium ship is the aggressive one. I do like it in general. Okay, well, we'll deal with that in a second. Who is this? Who is blue? Lumeris.
Sometimes it's hard to tell your friends from your enemies, isn't it?
Howdy.
Sometimes it's hard to tell your friends from your enemies, isn't it?
I do wish that they had more voice lines, or I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in an earlier episode. Once you've heard a line, it just doesn't play anymore for you for the rest of that turn. That would help a lot. Because, you know, I've heard a lot about how it's some people's purpose to kill, and how some people have feelings about the families, and etc. Not to name any names. Also, I said and etc., which is a little not ideal. Okay. So, we still have lots and lots and lots of population slots open. We should probably do something about that. It feels a little crummy to be just, like, pumping population constantly instead of building other stuff, but man, our population unit is quite good. There's all kinds of wonders available. You know, we should try to get this. We have pretty good industry output. I'm not sure how much longer this will be available, but 6 turns is a good amount of time. And we're about to gain another point of Epistis, which will help a little bit more. We'll swap somebody over onto one of the other planets. The Epistis can be on the sterile world. But yeah, I think we should try to go for that wonder, because it is awfully good if you can get it. Ah, yes, the Epistis being here is fine. That seems reasonable. +2 food per population point is not actually a very good... Like, there's not a large amount of food. This is also not great. Maybe this is where I should build intensive cultivation, because actually, there's a lot of population slots available in this system. You know what? I'm going to go for that. And then we'll build the next system level upgrade here. So this system will gain a bunch of a whole lot of food. We'll get that Epistis population bonus before you know it. All right, we still have a lot of stuff to build here. You can probably afford to pick up Cerebral Reality here real quick. Right, because it is... Yeah, it's only about half the cost of a point of population at this point. 2, 6, 4, 12... Man, we need industry. Like, really badly. So now we're not really a menace to Horatio just yet. Maybe I'm letting him off too easy. I'm not putting enough pressure on him. But I think I do want to wait until we actually have medium ships to attack. Alright, so we discovered a black hole over here. We also briefly saw red. Oh, good, Cravers. I'm going to not introduce myself to the Cravers. They cannot know about us. That's fine with me. We're going to need more manpower. Food will help with that. All of your Empire food naturally converts to... a percentage of it naturally converts to manpower. But we probably will need to give that a little push. Fortunately, we do have access to techs that will help with that. Like exotic rations or agri-drugs. This lets us enhance our small attack ship too. Plus 10% food to manpower. Yeah, we might want to pick up extreme composites after we finish researching medium hulls. So I suppose there's some danger in parking a fleet of actual attack ships on Lasath, because it means that Horatio can see what our build looks like. But also, it helps remind him that we have ships and we are potentially ready to fight. Hopefully keeps him from messing with us too much. My fondest wish is to never have the AI screw with me at all. You know, when it's time for us to do stuff, we'll come to you. Alright, people are pretty happy. I think things are going well. I have this vague feeling that I'm forgetting about something, which I feel like I always have lately. It's unsettling. I don't care for it. Let's go ahead and build ourselves a new compression singularity to replace the one that just ended.
Horatio doubts your motives and your ethics. We
Boy.
also deplore your lack of refinement.
His voice line is sort of at odds with what his text is saying here. The endless universe is taking its toll on the valiant Riftborn who have traveled through the rift and embodied their spiritual essences in strange robotic shells. They thirst for a taste of Koraz, and long for a reprieve from the organic horrors of this universe. Their minds desire the ordered lines and perfect symmetry of the home dimension. Sadly, the blight still spreads through Koraz. Any return, no matter how short, is too risky, not an option. The Communion have forbidden it, ordering that all those who have crossed must stay in this galaxy and give everything to their race's survival. But there is an answer, or at least a partial one. You may not be able to return to Koraz, but that doesn't mean you can't bring Koraz to here. First, you need to find a suitable system where the Riftborn can begin to relax. So yeah, we want cold planets, preferably. inhabited by as few life forms as possible. And we'll get some titanium, which of course we have a lot of use for. Unfortunately, yeah, we cannot get to 7 cold planets with just our current systems. So that's going to have to wait a little while. A market-wide price increase, huh? We don't really have the resources to be selling things on the market. Yeah, we're not mining enough stuff. Although, that's pretty cool. I don't even know what we'll use this for, but let's go ahead and offload these. Actually, we're not going to use these either. Get rid of that. This other stuff we actually might use, because these are all resources that we're not too far off of mining. Horatio has quite a bit of red sang, and honestly, red sang could be really useful. We also don't really have the text to make a whole lot of dust valuable to us. Oh hey, an election. I forgot about elections. Well, I think I want to keep the ecologists in. They're producing a lot of extra resources for us right now. So why don't we... Here's something we can do with all this dust. Why don't we throw some support behind the ecologists? I hope that this doesn't overwhelm... Yeah, let's... You know, there's so much support for the industrialists. I'm sure it won't. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That was not enough support. Our polling was bad. Well, it's not like the Dirty Hands Act is bad. Especially the enhanced version of it that we get for being a republic. It's just that I don't think it is as good for us in terms of total resource output as that environmentalist law we were running. I think I do want to change my government to a 3-party thing. It's going to be so much easier for us to keep the ecologists around if we have one more party representation. Although it is worth noting that in that particular election, one more party representation would have just meant that the pacifists got into the government and the ecologists still lost. Building food structures is good for your ecologist political impact. Actually, it's doubly good because new citizens being born is also good for your ecologist stuff. So the food buildings themselves give you pressure, and then the population points that they create give you additional pressure. Let's keep this running, get that wonder done a little bit faster. Alright, our systems are coming online, slowly but surely. I kind of want to just retrofit these to be scout ships and send them out to scout now that we have an actual combat fleet. How expensive would that be? Let's say we cut the engines for these engines, and then we give you a second probe module. Or honestly, even just make you the fastest ships we can. Well, you know what? If we keep them with bullet weapons, then if we end up at war with another player and they're teching against our army, which is using energy weapons, these ships will at least be a little bit more capable of defending themselves. Alright, how much is that retrofit? It would be 334 to do both of them. Yeah, go ahead and do it. And then I'm going to divide this into 2 fleets, and we're going to send one of them over to here. And the other one this way. So we formally met the Cravers, right? They encountered us, yeah. So there's no reason to avoid going into their territory then. We can have a look around. Alright, a couple turns off of getting a bunch of important stuff done here. Alright, Lassath should have plenty of food available. Let's get modernization, because you can see Remor is really putting out the influence. We're going to need this to help push back on that a little bit.
Our favorite fish in this galactic.
Okay, you know what, Lumeris lady? I feel like I hate to come across as sort of a one-trick pony. I know that let's make friends with the Lumeris is kind of the thing I do every game, but they make really good friends. You know, what am I supposed to do? Okay, so the Cravers are currently getting the bonus here. I control 4 of the 10 systems that I would need to own this constellation. Holy crap. Well, you know what? If we manage to make friends with the Cravers, it might make our supremacy victory pretty straightforward. Okay, here, what do we want to do here? So we get the same amount of industry out of both of these planets. This one has more food on it. It's also actually very approval positive. And we no longer really need to inhabit the anomaly planet so badly without our pro-anomaly laws. So yeah, why don't we grab that because it's very cheap relative to its output, and then... And I don't even know what and then. Just do that. Let's get that done and we'll figure it out from there. So we just finished research on the new ship design. Obviously we have some stuff I'd like to finish, so let's go ahead and get that finished. But it is probably time to start making stuff happen here. Okay, so Zosmanos is, in fact, already definitely not a system that only spawns when you do the quest. Alright. On the moon where the virus once lived with the Eider, we found a scene of desolation. Someone or something had attacked the commune, left Eider corpses strewn through the facility like they were nothing more than discarded puppets. Witnessing the carnage, something broke in Enixjink. It lashed out at 2 of my personal guard, then scuttled deep into the shadows. We searched for it for the rest of the day, but found no trace of the virus. Perhaps it is better this way. This world grows more terrible by the day. I have my duty, but I don't know how much more horror I can endure. The news from Koraz is not good. The blight worsens. Every day I receive reports of new areas of our world becoming diseased, new casualties succumbing to stasis. I picture black serpentine tendrils choking everything I once cherished. Even in this place, with my capacity to crush and stretch time like it is nothing more than a spring, I cannot escape the brutal, heavy truth of our plight. The Communion press for a full evacuation into this world. They imagine it a safe haven where they might find refuge. They are mistaken. This universe is far from a sanctuary for us. It is a dirty, fetid place, awash with violence. The only thing they will find here is distress, and eventually death. Despite their suffering, we are just not ready for them. They should stay, fight to the end to save Koraz. But they will not. I beg. No matter how hard I persuade them not to venture into this universe, my pleas fall on indifferent minds. All the horrors that I communicate, the blinding light, the fierce cold, the vast abysses, are merely meaningless words to them. They have no conception of this place. And as I am only the Grand Viceroy of New Koraz, as my authority stops where this universe ends, I cannot forbid them from coming. Eventually, though, I manage a minor victory, of sorts. I convince them to delay the evacuation, give my forces enough time to prepare for their arrival. What can I do, though? I might as well be seeking the end of the primes. Staring up at the starry night, I feel the weight of the universe crushing me, suffocating. From time to time I think of Enixjink, wonder what it would have counseled. But the virus is gone, and now I must decide for myself. So, ensure that my systems are not blockaded or guarded by rival empires for 18 turns, not very difficult to do. And we would get a law that makes our ships much cheaper. That's a considerable discount. It has no upkeep cost, but it will eat a law slot. Or we can reach 21 non-Riftborn population in our empire to gain access to a law that reduces diplomacy cost. Well, as much as I kind of want to focus on doing stuff like this, I think this reward is very bad. This one's fine. So that's what we're doing. Ensure our systems are not blockaded for 18 turns. That doesn't seem very difficult. Right, we successfully created the wonder before anybody else did. I think that the AI probably doesn't prioritize that highly enough, because it is very powerful. More industry. Always more industry. And hey, we got 20 Hyperium. That's fine. You know what? I'm going to have this guy try to make it to the center. Let's just fire a probe all the way in there. Alright, so the capital could probably stand to build one of these spirits. We're going to have to... hold on. We're going to have to fiddle with that design first. I'm going to have Oshi build us another compression singularity since one of them ended. Lasath needs to keep developing. We certainly don't need the approval right now. We're not colonizing the only planet in the system that has a deposit. And even if we did... yeah, it would only barely be better than the planets we're working on right now. I'm not in any big hurry to get over there. So, what do I build instead? We do still need science buildings. We do still need a lot of population. We need a lot of science buildings still. Yeah, we're still... man, we're really short on anomalies. I wish we had more anomaly systems, or anomaly planets. So we're going to make this because it's cheap, even though it's not very good. And then we're going to make a couple more points of Riftborn population. We are at 15. We desperately want to get to 20, remember. Alright. Let's make ourselves a warship. Wow. Not a lot of defenses on these things. I think we're going to stick with the plan. End up somewhere like this. Best at medium, but effective at a lot of different ranges. And cut that for a Hyperium engine. Alright, so with all the extra modules, what are we looking at in terms of cost? 724. Okay. Less than 2 turns. Let's make a couple of those, and then 4 more of these. So my plan is to grab the tech that gives us extra command points. I'm going to have to pick one of these up. Chain Gang Program, I'm a lot less eager to use Chain Gang Program with this faction, given how hard fought all of our points of population are. Like I said, I really want to rely on food to generate our manpower. Let's grab Big Data Shipyards. I'm going to queue this up before the food improvement. And then we're going to grab this. Once we have this, we have 7 command points per fleet. So we can do 4 smalls and a medium. And we have 4 smalls and a medium building here. And then these ships all make the second fleet that we leave behind on Lasath for defense. So we're a little ways off of being able to actually, like, go at him, but we're working on it. We're getting there. Is that another pirate system? That's annoying. Hopefully we'll catch Horatio off guard here. I don't think that we've given away our plan or anything. Like, we can't coexist with this dude. Look at the influence circles on his worlds. That will never stop being an issue for us. Okay. Somebody discovered the Academy. It's in the middle. It was me. It was me who discovered the Academy. Unfortunately, it looks like there are no curiosities to explore over here. We're probably just driving through. Okay, Oshi still needs to build some basic stuff. Yeah, we're up at 350 industry per population point, so I guess we can do that. This'll be fine. Right, that's 15 food right now. Yeah, that's fine. We're getting some decent Epistis population growth now. Oh, yeah. That singularity should be running for sure. Get some time off of that population build. Pirates are sitting on a lot of, like, important real estate.
Our purpose is to kill.
Okay, man, do I ever not have time or resources for you? Definitely get food and industry per population on him. And on you... extra resource mining rate is good. Arcane knowledge is not a huge amount of science for us, but we can probably move our heroes around a little bit and get some value out of it.
Sign.
Obviously, we're refusing this. Like, how is the Craver going to be a threat to us, right? I don't know what he's thinking. So, there's a random pirate ship here. It looks like the Lumeris are indeed going to settle it. Two Epistis born on the same turn. Pretty good. We're up at 9. Once we get to 10, we have a permanent plus ecologist political output, which will help us get them back in power. And it looks like our growth rate is such that we should hit 20. I mean, as long as we can keep providing room for them to grow. I'm pretty happy about that. Alright, let's get you up here. Everybody's doing things they need to be doing. Oh, hey. Minor civilizations. Remember those? Unfortunately, we don't have the tech necessary to talk to them. Haven't bothered to get it because it wasn't useful until just this moment. Okay, so we need to grab autonomous construction. That gets done just about in time for it to actually be useful, which is nice. A little bit of serendipity there. You know, let's grab this and put an Epistis here to work, and then we'll figure out what else we want to do with this system soon. Honestly, yeah, it probably makes sense to do this. I'm not that worried about the influence situation here, because we're just going to deal with Remor. We probably don't have much manpower on this ship, though, huh? What about this fleet? Yeah, this fleet's also low. We really need more manpower. I mean, we did finish that tech. We need to build that extra food to manpower facility on Lasath. Oh hey, some Calgros have shown up. Out of the blue, a new minor faction has abruptly moved onto one of your planets. Okay, well, extra population for Lasath is fine by me. These guys would prefer to be on fertile worlds, though? It's just extra approval. And we're pretty cool on approval, right? Yeah, we're, like, extremely good. So yeah, they can just live on Lasath and work here. That's fine by me. It is going to complicate matters a little bit in terms of population growth, because now we're going to be getting Calgros and Epistis here rather than just Epistis, but it'll be fine. We'll figure it out. We definitely want to build this here. This is going to be our Empire's breadbasket. I also need this to be happening. So next turn we can merge you all up. Oh, we're discovering all kinds of interesting stuff out here.
Soon your world.
Okay, that has functionally no effect. Also, I'm kind of surprised we didn't get attacked there. I expect we probably will get attacked over here, unfortunately. Okay, that's 10 population for the Epistis. Oh, well, we may as well search some of this stuff. Ruins, ruins, and life form. Well, ruins are fairly likely to be loot. Let's see what we got. Yep, we found an improved fusion torpedo module. Pretty good. Torpedoes are, the missile weapons are powerful, but they are, by a large margin, the most easily countered of all the weapons. So, they're great, you just have to be careful with them. Okay. So next turn we'll be able to merge these up into a fleet, and then, we might be able to move on Ratio. I don't know what his navy looks like. I suspect we will find out. Okay, I don't have any move left. I don't know why that guy's asking for orders. He couldn't follow them even if we gave him some. Alright, well, I think we're in position to make some stuff happen. Honestly, we may well declare next turn, but that's going to have to be it for us for today. So thank you all very much for watching. Come back next time. To see, I guess, if blood washes off of these cool chassis of ours. And we'll see you then.